Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Flashpoint FOC show. This one is very late on a Monday. Usually the bottom line says have your orders in by 9 p.m. Eastern time. I think this is literally going to go up at 9 p.m. Eastern time. It is a very light FOC, but I want to get this out there just so that we can continue having the FOC shows out. And I also have a couple of small things I want to announce before potential big things next week. Um, Let me start with I'm well aware that having the FOC show on Monday, even having it Sunday, is not useful. I was going to say efficient. Efficient is probably not the word. It's not as useful to you guys. Um, so just so you know, FOC finalizes in terms of what is on FOC cover art, things like that. FOC finalizes at about noon, 2 o'clock Eastern time on Friday. My goal, once we get the store close to operational, so I'd love to say by February. The goal is to do the FOC show on Fridays to give you ample amounts of time to watch it, to get your orders in, to even change your mind. So the end goal here in a couple weeks is going to be to do the FOC show Friday nights. Right now, that is a little difficult because as we are still waiting to get the store open, I am working part time. And between working early in the morning, getting home from work, and trying to spend valuable time with my wife before the child comes, it's been hard to do it Friday nights. Also, currently, we are, for the month of January, doing the Apopka market on 5th every Friday night. So that adds to the difficulty. Obviously, if I'm not working, I can still get that FOC show done before we go to the Apopka market. But that is just not the case right now, which is why you're noticing these FOC shows go up on Sunday or Monday, even, which neither is ideal. Um, Friday is in theory Saturday is in theory more ideal than Sunday or Monday. But I'm aiming for Friday. I cannot promise that this Friday there will be an FOC show. I cannot promise that next Friday there will be an FOC show, but there will be one those weekends. All right, I don't want to say I'm abandoning it, but I do feel comfortable in saying February 7th, which is the first official Friday of February. We should have an FOC show on a regular scheduled time and date. Um, with that being said, what's up, Joe? Yeah, thank you, man. It's been I'm not gonna say hard. Obviously, all of this has been exciting. Opening the store, getting our online subs going, getting ready for the baby. Tomorrow I am literally painting, I guess we'd call it a nursery. I call it Maverick's room. But tomorrow I'm literally painting the nursery. So it's a juggling act. But with that being said, we will get back to a routine in February, and hopefully the store should be opening brick and mortar doors open in February. I should be able to announce a lot more official stuff on that next FOC show. And just remember, tomorrow, Tuesday, I will be doing the new comic book day preview show. So you will see me again a second day. Yeah, thank you, Joe. Joe is one of my oldest friends and subscribers in this industry. Has come a long way with me, so it's really awesome to see friends like that stick around. I miss Theo, Joe. I miss you and Theo, so I'm excited to have the store open a little bit closer to you guys. With that being said, before I jump into FOC, I do want to mention the Winter Springs other way. The winter no, that way. That was right. No, that was right. The Winter Springs Comic, Toy, and More Show. That is going to be Saturday, January 18th from 12 to 5 at the Winter Springs VFW. I literally just came from the VFW. Some of the nicest people in the world. The bartender, Daryl, is a big comic and game nerd. And he was literally telling me, he's like, I was so upset I couldn't make it to your last one. I will 100% be at this one. He's actually going to be tending bar on the 18th. And he mentioned that he might even come in cosplay. So that's super cool that the VFW is participating at that level. We are going to be doing a food drive for the Winter Springs Elementary School Food Pantry. Any non-perishable food donation will get you entered to win prizes throughout the day. I did just get confirmation. I have not made a graphic yet, but Emily Rysette, the ever-talented Emily Rysette, will be our featured guest artist for the Winter Springs Comic, Toy, and More Show. What that means by guest artist is, first of all, any kid. So I'm gonna probably, we're not gonna check IDs, right? But any kid probably about under the age of 16 is gonna get a sketch card as they walk in. and Emily will be drawing a free sketch on that. It's about a baseball card size card. Emily will do a free sketch for any child who comes in. No purchase necessary, no donation necessary. Walk in with your kiddo and get one of those. We'll also have some free comic books out there for the kids, and we'll have some other fun stuff. T-Rex Comics and Collectibles is always out there. He has tons of stuff for kids, little kids fanny packs, backpacks, all of it nerdy. We also are going to have some sports card vendors out there, candle maker, sweets and acrylics, um, comic books, of course. I do have a person who does customized and modified toys. I will be trying to share a video on social media to be more specific about what this gentleman does. But what he was explaining to me is that he has toys on site that he can customize for people. And he said people can even come up to him with toys and he can customize them. He says he does a lot of the work right in front of you. So you can literally watch this gentleman work on your toys. We plan on having multiple toy vendors as well. So you can literally go from one toy vendor buying your toy and go to this gentleman and have him customize it. I believe what he does is he essentially can remove arms, limbs like that, and make it its own little Frankenstein creation. I think it's very unique, very cool. So we're going to have 2 sports card vendors. We're going to have some vintage toy vendors, a toy vendor. We're going to have T-Rex Comics and Collectibles. We're going to have ourselves with tons of comics, keys, slabs. T-Rex has tons of great stuff. We're also going to have Things Mel Made. Things Mel Made does a phenomenal job with like acrylic nerdy cups. She does awesome s'mores, cake pops, everything like that. And then as well as Elizabeth's candles. If you did not see Elizabeth's candles last time, she literally makes molds of puppies. It is the most unique candles you will ever see. So if you get a chance, come out. Winter Springs Comic Toy and More Show, January 18th from noon to 5 at the Winter Springs VFW. And don't forget, we are doing the food drive for the Winter Springs Elementary School Food Pantry. Any non-perishable donation will get you entered to win prizes like comic books, exclusive variants, things like that. And with that being said, I'm going to go jump in straight to the FOC show. I did mention before, if you're just now joining us, I do believe that by next week's FOC show, which will likely be Sunday or Monday, I should have some very big news about Flashpoint comics, comics and games that I should be able to publicly share with y'all. If you, for whatever reason, don't get to see next week's show, a lot of huge announcements will be made at that January 18th Winter Springs Comic and Toy Show. So just keep your eyes peeled. With that being said, 8 minutes in, I've wasted a lot of time talking to you guys about me. Final Order Cutoff. What does Final Order Cutoff mean? Final Order Cutoff stands for, FOC stands for Final Order Cutoff. Final Order Cutoff means it is the final day for you to get your orders in on any comic book or item that's on FOC, and guarantee, unless there's a very few small situations where there's allocations, it guarantees you a copy of that book, that trade, that cover, anything like that. The only situation where that works a little differently is incentives. Stores do not get to order as many incentives as they want. They get to order as many as they qualify for. So even though you can put in a request at FOC for an incentive, it doesn't guarantee it, simply because it's going to be first come, first serve on the requests. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. How do you FOC books? You can comment if you're watching live. You can email us at flashpointcomicsandgames@gmail.com, or you can message us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Those are our main 4. And with that being said, let's jump straight into it with Image Comics. You can always view the FOC whether you are on Pullbox or not by going to previewsworld.com/final orders due. You do not have to adjust the date. That will always take you to the current FOC. So if you see right now, we're on January 6th, 2025. If you do want to subscribe to us with Pullbox, you just hit Pullbox right here, and it will allow you to create an account, and then you will request Flashpoint Comics and Games or any local comic book store as your store, and you are good to go. With that being said, let's jump right in. We start with Image. Image has a lot of things that are continuing. Black Cloak, Blood Squad 7. The one thing I want to point out is this really cool book called Blood Train. It just seems really cool, written by Adam Glass. They're calling it 28 Days Later Meets the Ruins. So it's a little bit of a psychological horror. It's a one-shot. You do not need to read anything before or anything after. The one thing I do want to mention to you, it's got $7.99 price tag, and it is also not normal sized. When I say not normal sized, I mean it is not a comic book. It is somewhere in between a magazine and a treasury. It actually reminds me of The Last Mermaid. If anybody collected The Last Mermaid, it's magazine width, but a little bit shorter. Still, I don't want that to discourage you. If this is up your alley, this is definitely a book that you would like. This one shot is perfect bound magazine trim size. So it's an 8.5 by 10 and 8.75 and features a cardstock cover. So that adds to the 7.99. It's also more pages. Um, there's also Dust to Dust #2. This is Joel Jones? No. J.G. Jones. I always confuse those two people. J.G. Jones' new book where he's writing and drawing is obviously a very big deal. Takes a lot of effort. I do want to very quickly shout out Free Comic Book Day. You're going to see these on FOC. You obviously technically can't order them. If somebody wanted 25 copies of the Free Comic Book Day Energon universe, I would reply to them with how much that will cost, and that can be done. But let's be real, there is no FOCing Free Comic Book Day books. It's impractical. It would be a lot of work. But Free Comic Book Day is the first Saturday in May. This year it falls on May the 3rd. So just keep an eye out for that. Make your list. Be ready for that. But we're still a few months away. Geiger Volume 2 trade paperback is hitting stores. Ice Cream Man, Kill or Be Killed, Public Domain, Red Coat, Rockefellers. There is a lot going on in the Geiger universe, or I think it's called Ghost Machine universe now. If you are a fan of Rick Remender's, you like Deadly Class, Holy Roller, anything like that, Seasons is his new book, written by Rick Remender, and it has art from the artist from Outcast. So a big Image doubleheader here, Seasons #1. Pick that up. We will have that available in store if you miss FOC. Then let's jump into Boom real quick. Image is always really quick. They're definitely in doing a lot of titles right now. Boom has a very small FOC, so I will knock that out in seconds. There is the Dune trade for House of Atreides. We have Free Comic Book Day. We have VR Rangers, and then we have the 20th anniversary special. And then Red Before Black, #4 of 6. That's Stephanie Phillips' new book. That is issue 4 of 6 out there. That is Boom Studios. Dark Horse, it's got Laura Croft PVC statue. If you're a big Tomb Raider fan, do not sleep on that. Dark Horse has some pretty good quality on their statues and figures. I want to say I got a Halo figure from them a while back, and it was really good. So that is Dark Horse. DC Comics is pretty light, but it is something worth showing to y'all. A lot of trades with DC. You have the Absolute Edition of New Frontier by Darwin Cook, amazing book. You have the trade paperback for Batman Catwoman by Tom King, also a great book. You have the hardcover of Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age. That is the sequel to Gotham by Gaslight. Very great book. We are getting a noir edition of the Long Halloween, Last Halloween #1. So that means black and white interiors, everything like that. There is a blank cover for that if you love Long Halloween. Speaking of Batman trades, there is also Batman Off-World that is written by Jason Aaron, and it's essentially a if Batman was abducted by aliens story and how Batman would operate on that ship. Fun story, but it is a very sci-fi Batman story. You are getting a facsimile to Batman The Long Halloween #1. There's a foil variant and a regular variant. You're getting a full compendium of Dark Knight's Metal. This includes all of Dark Knight's Metal, Dark Days, The Casting, Wild Hunt, Nightwing, Flash, Hal Jordan, and Green Arrow, Suicide Squad, Teen Titans, Justice League, and Batman. Those were all tie-ins. And then you do also get Red Death, Devastator, Merciless, Drowned, Murder Machine, Dawnbreaker, Lost, and the Hawkman Found. So you're getting the entire Dark Knight's Metal saga for $59.99. There's also DC's Finest Team Ups, which is a lot of Superman team up. You are going to get the DC Power Rise of the Power Company. There's your Black History Month book. You have an A cover. You have a B cover here featuring Black Adam. And then you do have a David Go variant featuring Joe Cyborg, and Wallace West. Green Lantern 19 is on FOC. You're also getting a limited edition Untold Legends of Batman #1 facsimile. These are the treasury size with art by Jose Garcia Lopez. Mad Magazine. You are getting the compact edition of Superman Batman. This is the Jeff Loeb, right? Am I reading that right? Yes, Jeff Loeb, Ed McGuinness, Mike Turner run. 9.99, and you're getting, I want to say, 8, 9 issues. Great deal. Superman Lex Luthor special one shot. This is written by Superman writer Josh Williamson. And this is perfect timing for the Superman movie. You guys all saw Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Just great timing to get a little Superman background story. And then there is a foil virgin cover of this for $6.99. That will be all foiled out on a virgin trade dress list. So that is DC. Then if we jump into Marvel real quick, Marvel again is also light, also free comic book day titles. But let's show them off, shall we? You're getting Daredevil Woman Without Fear, Volume 1 of her bloody reunion. That is coming out. Your free comic book day books for Marvel are Fantastic Four, X-Men, Spidey and His Amazing Friends, as well as Iron Man and His Friends. You're getting an Ironheart Marvel Voices book. You're getting a Spider-Man Ultimate Universe book, and you are going to get a Star Wars. We got some omnibuses as well as some Marvel Masterworks here. Phoenix Volume 1. I want to say, is that one Stephanie Phillips as well? Stephanie Phillips. A lot of Stephanie Phillips traits. Stephanie Phillips right there. You're getting Star Wars Legends omnibuses. This is the old Dark Horse stuff being reprinted under Marvel. You are going to get Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 2. If you have not read Ultimate Spider-Man, let me know. I will order you Volume 1. This is a must-read for any Spider-Man fan, especially if you have been tireded out by Amazing Spider-Man. Speaking of Spider-Man, we do have Ultimate Spider-Man, the Bendis and Mark Bagley run. This is 1 through 13 of that run for $39.99. And then X-Force is getting a hardcover. Then we will jump to Dynamite, which is low-key been a really great publisher. I hate to say low-key like I'm some, Gen Alpha, but low-key. They have the Gargoyles license, and for free comic book day, they're doing a Demana book. They also have a lot of cartoon licenses like Powerpuff Girls, Thundercats, so that is a free comic book day offering as well, all ages friendly. Then you're going to have your typical, your Red Sonjas, and then, oh my gosh, so forgive me if this looks like a lot, and I'm not going to dwell on it at all very much. You are going to have Silverhawks #1 on FOC. You have covers from Jay Lee, Lucio Perillo, Declan Shavley. You have a symbol variant. You have Lyrics Lee. You have a foil symbol variant right here. You're going to have Perillo foil right there. You're going to have Mark Spears. Mark Spears has really blown up as of late. So that's Mark Spears right there. And there is a Mark Spears foil for Silverhawks. To me, it's probably going to be your best foil option. You're also going to get a Mark Bagley variant there. You get your Lyrics Lee foil. Get a space blank, which I think is cool. Get a silver blank. Lot of covers on that book. That's about as far as I'm going to go. Then you have Thundercats. I do like this. A little late for Christmas, but Stop That Penguin. It's very cute. Very cute. Thundercats. Oh, you're even getting a Mark Spears on Thundercats. Mark Spears is really blowing up, man. He's probably got Todd McFarlane to thank for that, for giving him a lot of work on Spawn, and then he blew up after. Vampirella is also there. And then after that, we're going to get to kind of what I like to call the miscellaneouses. Comic Suite refers to them this way. Comic Previews World. I'm so sorry. So you have, let's see, I always scroll through this really quickly. You can always go to this website and look at all of these and take your time. But I like to go through this really quickly because if not, we'll be here forever. I know there was 1 or 2 things I wanted to show off on this. And when I get to it, I will very happily tell you all about it. Let's say. You're gonna see a lot of public. So first of all, Kill All Immortals trade paperback. This is from Dark Horse. Very fun book. I read Zach Kaplan and Fiko Osuyo's No One Left to Fight, and this seems similar with a little less comedy, but I'm okay with that. Fiko draws amazing um fight scenes. So this is well worth your while. Mad Cave Studios out of Miami, Florida has Kill Train #1. I want to read the synopsis to you because I thought it was fun. To control the population explosion that nearly crippled the city of New York, it has instituted a kill train, a randomized extermination program where designated subway trains are picked at random and all the passengers are slaughtered by the end of the line. In this not so distant future, we meet Vanessa, a struggling single mom in the midst of a nervous breakdown, who discovers that she herself is on a kill train. Now, for once in her life, and with everything to prove, Vanessa decides she's not going down without a fight. Reminds me a little bit of Snowpiercer mixed with like Train to Busan, with a few other things. But I think that is a very fun book. And we love Mad Cave Studios. We potentially are working on something very unique with Mad Cave Studios and our good friends over at Scott's Collectibles. We may have more news on that next week. Titan is doing Lenore, the Time War, very Edgar Allan Poe-esque, creepy pasta. So you might like that. That has a few different covers as well, a Cthulhu cover. So if you love Cthulhu, jump on that. Um, this is the book I wanted to talk to you about. James Tynion, one of the best comic writers of our generation, one of the best horror writers of the last 20 years, has a new book along with his editor, Steve Fox. It is called Let This One Be a Devil. In the early 1900s, Henry Naughton returns home to his family farm in the swampy pine barrens of southern New Jersey. One night, so this is about the Jersey Devil. One night, he encounters a strange predator stalking the woods. This sends the young scholar on a research project that uncovers the legend of Mother Leeds and a terrible birth of a Jersey Devil in 1735. James Tynion is amazing with period pieces. He's amazing with horror. I have zero worries that this isn't going to be a banger comic book. And there's 3 covers. There's that one I just showed you. That's the A cover. There is a B cover here by Piotr Kowalski. And then there is a Juan Max Famura cover here. And this is a 4-issue miniseries in James Tynion's True Weird universe. So I definitely just wanted to mention that so you guys do not miss out on that. Also, Monster High is continuing on. I'm very glad to see Monster High keep going. Power Lords #1 is on FOC from Oni. This is written by Dennis Culver. Return of the Living Dead #2 is out there. And was there anything else? I think that is it. Again, you guys can totally scroll through here, look at the collectibles, look at the games. There's Marvel Universe match games, pretty cute. Kind of like Guess Who in a way. But with that being said, guys, I'm closing that out. FOC is that's FOC. That's Final Order Cutoff. Join us I'm just going to go ahead and comfortably say Sunday. Join us every Sunday evening for an FOC show. FOC is Final Order Cutoff. That is the final day you have to be able to submit a request for a comic book and have it be guaranteed. So that way you're not worried with speculators. You're not worried about not making it that morning because you have a doctor's appointment. Tons of things like that. So guys, don't forget, FOC your books. You will never have a regret. You will never miss something that you absolutely need in your life. And with that being said, keep an eye out on all of our social medias over the next, I'd say, like week to 2. I mean, the 18th. So 2 weeks from now is the Winter Springs Comic and Toy and More show. I know there we are announcing some huge, huge news. I'd like to think on one of these shows I'll announce that same news to the tens of viewers that are loyal and check us out, whether on YouTube or on Facebook. So we will share some news with you guys next week. And then on the 18th, we'll have a huge news moving forward. And then we'll be at MegaCon. Not as a table, but I'll be out there. My wife will be out there. With that being said, guys, I just want to thank you all. I know I did this last week. want to thank you all for the support you've given us in 2024, which is now over. And I want to promise y'all that that support will not go unnoticed, has not gone unnoticed. Flashpoint Comics and Games is here in 2025 because people supported us in 2024. I mean, if that customer count would have been zero, we wouldn't be here still doing this. So I want to thank everybody for the love, support, the positive words, just viewing, just hitting the like button, hitting subscribe. Any little bit helps. And I always knew this when I was a manager at comic book stores, and now as an owner, it's even more true. So I really, I don't think a day, I don't think a show is ever going to go by where I'm not going to thank you guys, because there is no Flashpoint Comics and Games. There is no me sitting here. There is no any of this without you guys. So thank you guys for allowing my dream to come true, for believing in me, and for being a part of this awesome ride that we are going to go on in 2025. And I promise you, it's going to be a fun ride. With that being said, I will be back tomorrow, Tuesday, for the new comic book day preview show. Since I have some viewers watching, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to aim for 5 o'clock Eastern time for that new comic book day preview show. With that being said, guys, thank you so much. Collect what you love. You'll never have a regret in your life. And with that being said, Flash out.